Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be covering the brand new update for Path of Titans. This comes along with Ramph's TLC, some new mechanics, and some more things that I will cover in this video. Anyway, if you are new here, make sure to like and subscribe, and also watch till the end. I hope you enjoy. Alrighty, so first things first, Rhamphorhynchus' TLC, which I don't think I want to call it that. I know Alderaan themselves did, but no stat changes, no model or animation changes. It got a new animation, which I will cover later, but it didn't really get anything new like that. It more so got compressed abilities. So the Rhamphorhynchus TLC, as they called it, I'm just going to call it the Ramp update. They more so just wanted to compact its abilities. I think they had too much going on for it, or at least they thought they did. So, they made their abilities more streamlined. Now, I don't know how to feel about Ramp's update. I wouldn't call it bad, but I also wouldn't call it extremely amazing. For a few key factors, such as that, I think it might be too good now. Like, it genuinely might be too good if you just have a flock of them, being able to kill an apex or anything just by existing. Because what they have done is, all of this stuff, this is the same. It's like, they've not changed any of this. They've not given it any new passives. However, it has flock migration when gliding drains, stamina drains 2 times slower if gliding within 50 meters of another flyer. Stamina drains 4 times slower instead. That's fine. However, Plague Carrier. This got changed, and oh my god, it is way too good. So, while latched onto an enemy, continuously apply stacks of Pestilent to it and any nearby enemies within 50 meters. That's a big key issue. Each stack of Pestilence reduces health, stamina, and bleeding recovery by 2.5%, and increases food and water drain by 50%, stacks up to 10. Do you know what this means? If you have 10 stacks of that, not only are you having 25% less health, stamina, and bleed recovery, but you're also having 500% faster food and water drain. 500%. That is 5 times the normal drain. And Ramph is immune as long as it's applying it. It doesn't even get it. If Ramph is the one applying it, user is immune to Pestilent. But, like, 500% food and water drain. Now, I can understand if it's like a Serrato or something that can eat, basically anything. T-Rex can only eat fresh. Critters already weren't good enough for it. How a T-Rex is going to expect to survive? And Titans and anything else with a single diet that had to live off critters and players. Like, bruh, 500% food and water drain just for being, like, jumped on? That's insane. This is insane. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, moving on. Dart. This didn't really get any changes other than the fact you can use it whilst grounded, so I think that might be a bug. Speaking of bugs, there's also been a bug with this update that I will get into later, to do with raptors. But yeah, look, you can just like glide on the ground. I don't know, it's weird. Metabolisms, they didn't get changed. Then we have some new hides. Echoing calls. Buff all call durations by 25% during the day and 50% during the night. 20% increased stem recovery. And then Deep Claws, 30% increased bucking resistance while low on health, gain dramatically increased health recovery until healed to 25%. Allows healing while flying. Allows healing while flying? That's pretty good. I do want to quickly test something. If I just, like, take damage... Right. Oh, it does allow healing whilst flying, no matter your health. I thought it was just, like, whilst you're on low health. But no matter your health, you can heal while flying as Ramph. That might be a big game changer for Ramph, actually. Because now if it gets attacked in the air, it isn't even game over. It doesn't have to land. Oh. Uh-oh. Anyway, next up we've got Legs. Infectious Touch. While latched onto another creature not in your group, reduce their armor by 10% and steadily apply venom, poison, and toxin stacks up to 2 times. This, I don't think, is new. The worst thing there is the less armor and the toxin. The venom and poison, I mean, you do get less health recovery with poison. I just realized something. Wait a second. Poison poison reduces your health recovery by about 25% or something like that. You combine that with Plague Carrier, oh my god, 50% less health recovery. That's gonna be insane. Then we've got Shared Rhythm. While latched onto another creature, reduce their ability cooldowns by 12.5% and stamina cost by 10%. Stacks up to 4 times. Wait, what? You can just give something more stamina? You can just give something more stamina, basically, and quicker abilities. Like, a Rex with this is just going to be able to spam its charge by... Oh my god. Wait, 4 times? Oh no. Alderon, that's 50% reduced cooldowns. What the hell? No! Why? The voice buffs, I don't believe, did get any changes. I think these are all the exact same. I've not seen anything new from them. It is missing one, though, right? It is missing a voice buff. I think it's I think it's missing a voice. Or maybe I'm having a weird schizo moment. It never actually had that many. But anyway, now that we have finished covering all of Rhamphorhynchus' ability changes and whatnot, and its stupid stuff, we can cover something pretty interesting. So, do I have the flock migration on? Yes, I do. I am quickly going to show you the ramp gliding animation. It's very hard to get it, because you have to not fly. And there we go. You see it kind of like just holds its wings out? It does, if you go a little quicker and do it, I will try and get it. Not the easiest. You can also see that new VFX. It does kind of close the wings in if you go a little bit faster, but I don't know why they added that to Ramph. It can't glide. But this does have a new VFX, which is pretty cool. Anyway, moving on to the rest of the flyers. And here we are with Hatzegopteryx. So, Hatzegopteryx didn't get too many changes, although it did get a new gliding mechanic, which I do want to quickly go into that, actually, because I don't think I did yet. So, Alderon has added a new mechanic for flyers. They've changed how flying works as a whole. So instead of just being sprint and trot flying, you now have, like, tons of different ones, including gliding, which, I actually like this. This is probably my favorite part of this update. You can actually glide as Hatzegopteryx now. I'm not losing any altitude. I'm just cruising. You do lose speed slowly, but you can quite easily just dive down, and look at that. Just pop back into it. It's pretty nice. I like it. And also, you have a new VFX on barrel roll, so woo! Where it creates like a little wind turbine. It's pretty cool. Also, this thing has got flock migration and a new passive called Glider. Uses less stamina while wings are fully spread in a glide. So you can combine that with flock migration, I guess, which just makes Hats not use any stamina, basically. Like, look at how slow my stam bars drain just while gliding. It's pretty cool, man. Like, this is super cool. I enjoy it. You can actually glide as a pterosaur. I'm so happy with it. And it wouldn't be complete if the Lasmadronius also got these changes. So, just like the others, it also got a new gliding. It's a little bit, it's not too good on Thal because it's got a really big head and it slows down really quickly. But it does have flock migration. So, you know what? I'm not too bothered about that. It has a nice flock migration, but it can't glide for very long, so you do have to keep flapping your wings. Yeah, it's really good on Hats, okay, but everything else it's kind of doo-doo on. But I still like the thoughtful idea that they added it for Thal. It gives it something new. There is also a new VFX which you can kind of see if I go really quick. But I am gonna boost my speed with commands just so you guys can see it easier. Alright, so I have increased my movement speed. And you know when you get bleed or venom and you see like the little effect? It is quite loud. But you see that little white effect on the outside? That is basically... Ow. Poor bird. That is basically a new effect. So if you're flying as a fly and you go really quick, basically it just adds like a little white outline. Kind of like bleed and venom does. Also, I am stuck here. Okay, there we go. We got out. But it's like a very minute thing. I still think it's pretty cool, though. It looks pretty cool. Alright, so now that we've covered all of the flying stuff, let's get on to the actual stat changes with this update, which is nothing to do with any of the flyers. Starting off with the Latin. So, Latin got a lot of changes, very much a buff. Decreased the Call of Night Terror's cooldown from 180 to 120 seconds, decreased the stamina cost from 25 to 12.5, decreased his stamina cost from 10 to 5, decreased the cooldown from 300 to 240 seconds, increased Raptor Strike's damage buff from 20% to 35%. Speaking of, Raptors are supposed to get 50% damage while pounced, so they do half the damage whilst pounced, but then Raptor Strike gets a little bit back. That was removed this update by a bug, which meant that Latin with Raptor Strikes wasn't doing, 15% less of its total damage. It was doing 85% extra damage on top of it already stacking. There it is. So he was doing 85% damage to anything you pounced. It was stupid. But luckily, they released a small hotfix and that bug is gone. They've also decreased the Ripping Kick stamina cost from 5 to 4, increased Mangle's base damage from 10 to 30. They've decreased Lord of Terror's stamina cost from 10 to 5, and lowered the cooldown from 300 to 240. Lord of Terrors now works in combat, and they've decreased Mob Rally stamina cost from 10 to 4. So, overall, pretty big buffs for Latin. Then we also have Deinonychus buffs, which is decreased Rat Out stamina cost from 20 to 10, and again with the Mob Rally, decreased the stam cost on that from 10 to 4. And just because why not, Struthiomimus got a little buff. Improved base turning for trotting, running, and walking by 20%. Why? Why does Struthi need a buff? I don't know. Apparently Struthi's turning was a problem, I guess. So Struthiomimus, Latin, and Deinonychus got buffs. There are some other changes, such as Spinosaurus now has armor while doing its undertow. So while Spinosaurus does its heavy tail slam, it gets armor. I'm not exactly how much armor it actually gets. I wonder if the ability itself says. No, it doesn't. But this ability now gives you armor whilst it's winding up, and then the armor will decrease. I don't know why Spinosaurus needed that. It literally has the most armor of the base game, except for an Eotrike with its blocked horns thing. I don't know why. But they also have changed the bleeding particle, so it's now more of a darker red, and it's a little bigger, and it applies exactly where you're bitten. So if, let's say, I got bit on the side of my sail, the bleeding particle would come out of there. If I got bit on the tip of my tail, it would come from there. Pretty nice. It's nice. You can actually see where you bit someone. Then they have also updated the Hatzgopteryx food and water values. That they didn't give an exact amount. They also changed the stamina health recovery multipliers on hats to match other dinosaurs. But anyway, now that we have all of that out of the way with, we can get into something pretty cool. So we have got a brand new critter. So if I do /spawn critter, and then we type in Tanystropheus, let's get an alpha in here, shall we? Bam, there we go. Look at that noodle boy. We got a long little noodle. And it is aggressive. Okay, right. You're coming with me because... Alright, here we are in the water. I'm going to spawn another Tanny, which is Tanystropheus. There we go. I didn't give it a grow or anything, so this is, this is a pretty base-sized one. And look at its little swim. It kicks with its legs. I love that. Look at it. It's so cool, man. So when it's just like normally swimming around... Is that another one? When it's normally swimming around, it's not really that fast. It's slower, does more wiggles, it's more casual. But it's nice that it uses its legs, I think it looks pretty cool. Long-necked little critter. Anyway, that is probably going to be everything for this video. I don't believe there's anything else with this update that is new, other than just the rework on flying, which, I covered. And it's pretty cool. I'm very excited for it. Mainly to play it, because I haven't played it yet. Anyway, if you have made it to the end of this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Helps me out an absolute ton. We just passed 3,000. I want to keep going. Anyway, thank you again to anyone who's a member as well. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Take care, have a wonderful day, everyone, and goodbye.